June was very busy with new announcements, so you might have missed these awesome indies such as Trouble Juice, a side-scrolling roguelike platformer that is more than it looks. While you're essentially moving from left to right, you do get locked into arenas where you have to defeat all enemies to proceed. Where the shoot 'em up action is great, as are the upgrades and variety, where I do quite like this look but don't have a name to describe it, so if you do, let me know in the comments below.
When I was 16, I designed a computer game in this notebook. My friend Chase helped me program it, and it was awesome. But then, it got lost. Or was it? Hope you're ready, you mother-flippin' turd pile, because I am the X-Slayer.
The latest entry in the Hypnospace Outlaw universe is Slayers X Terminal Aftermath Vengance of the Slayer, and no, that is not a typo, where this game is perhaps very cringe, so much so that it wraps around itself and might actually be pretty good. Anyway, this is a first-person shooter created by in-universe character Zane, who is an edgelord, who canonically took 23 years to make this game, where it is very 90s and Doom inspired, where on a more meta level, the developer absolutely nailed what they are going for and made a good boomer shooter as well. If you love
cozy farm sim
titles, of course, One Lonely Outpost will be a title of interest, a sci-fi entry with a unique slant. You're tasked with the mission of establishing a colony on an alien planet, having to scavenge and mine resources, then eventually growing food, raising animals, and terraforming the landscape, which attracts more settlers, which is the main progression system. Critically, there is exploration of alien ruins, where this did get a mixed reception at launch due to bugs, and more critically, balancing. You see, the game is slow at the start and the limited energy system does not help things, so the initial chunk of gameplay can be rather boring, but once you unlock more options and things to do, it does gradually get better, although it is an early access title, so we'll see how this gets balanced and fixed. One of the better Vampire Survivors clones is Spirit Hunter Infinite Horde, a bullet heaven roguelite that spams enemies at you, but where they added in a Path of Exile style skill tree, so there's always that next upgrade to unlock that will get you just a little bit further. Interestingly, this game has actual level design and variety in the maps, with objects to capture and obstacles to get around, as well as runs which end in a boss fight, where this is at a low price that this subgenre is known for, so do give it a go.
What is your first memory? Mine is somewhere in the last few months before my 13th birthday.
This is... wow. Nice.
We'll have fun, the two of us.
Whoa!
Look at me.
Don't worry, I'm fine.
The beautiful watercolor Dordogne stands out due to the visuals alone, where you play as a woman reliving her childhood memories of the carefree summer days spent with her grandmother, attempting to piece together lost memories. It is rather simple in the gameplay department, so don't go expecting Dark Souls in this, where it's adventure game-like in nature, with finding key items and minigames. The music and sounds in this are excellent, as are the visuals, obviously, where it's a wonderful, short little title that is perfect for summer.
Cold water.
Previously on Sludge Live. First off, Plug sucks. Make fun of all this sludge-covered crud. And then they went and killed Siggy. Tell you what, fools wasn't having none of that. And the homie Ghost tagged the whole island, top to bottom. And then it was like this big ass baby and Moscar. And then them Clops, Hans, and then 66, and Tia, and Quick Creeper, and Burger Mom, and my man Uzi, and Zooms, and then this big ass bomb, and then what you call it, a double butthole cat, oh, and this creepy little homie, and then it all blew the fuck up.
I left the opening parts of the trailer of Sludge Live 2 in, since it gives you a taste of what to expect, being set in a wild and crazy world filled with all sorts of interesting characters and stories. This is a first-person exploration title where you're searching for your missing friend, where the art style is very interesting and oozes all kinds of style. While it is walking simulator-ish, the city that you get to explore is neat, with a bunch of stuff to find, where this has 3 times the number of NPCs as compared to the original, and it's just weird and unique and so indie games.
Twice. Play it, fool.
While the very minimalist pixel art look of Bleak Sword DX may not be for everyone, do not sleep on this game, since the enhanced release of a game that was previously made for Apple Arcade is very good. This is a grimdark action-adventure game with Souls-like elements, where you are fighting your way through the world, where the diorama stages are very well done with some interesting boss and enemy designs. You have to balance offense and dodging and moving away, where combat is just crisp and fun, with the DX version adding randomizer, boss rush and endless modes, along with a whole host of other improvements. One of the more interesting games of June is The Bookwalker Thief of Tales, a narrative adventure game where you're able to literally dive into books, but where our protagonist is a writer turned thief, now having to steal significant objects like Excalibur in order to restore his ability to write. The variety of books and locations here is a highlight, since each comes with unique visuals, characters and even rules of the world, where you need to figure out how best to navigate each situation. It is CRPG-like in nature in that you have to solve puzzles, find items and even engage in combat, but it's not that deep in terms of gameplay, but rather is more text and narrative focused. Now, this game is really awesome since it's a construction simulator title where you're building all sorts of interesting rovers and vehicles on Mars, having to transport a variety of items from one location to the next. Of course, the Mobius-like art style of Mars First Logistics is one of the main highlights. It just looks awesome, where there's a surprising number of parts that you can play with, being of interest if you enjoyed games like Besieged. What you might not know is that this game has a really awesome soundtrack where the music kicks in when you're flooring the pedals and going full speed across the terrain, where I'm excited to see where this goes in early access. It was pretty telling in June that a whole bunch of Bullet Heaven titles released out of early access, an indication that the novelty might be beginning to wear off, where one of the best clones, so to speak, is 20 Minutes Till Dawn, notable for its more active gameplay where you have to aim, with the variety of characters and weapons being the highlight, and you can find more of such games in this video.